charge my phone, but I'm here. Just a couple minutes late. How's everyone doing today? Zag's here with me. Hi, Zag. I missed some comments. Good old Oregon weather. Yeah, no kidding. Except I'm actually in the desert, and here in the desert, it's I think I'm actually a little bit early, aren't I? Damn, I am stoned. I'm a little bit early, maybe. God, I thought I was late. Anyways, I've been letting my phone charge. Got a bit distracted. Um, but I figured I would join you guys, and then I could end the live stream at 4:20 because it's about 3:30 my time. So at the end of the live stream, we could spark up together and hang out. But it's been raining most of the day. In fact, it looks like it's maybe a little bit of blue skies out there right now. And it's the first blue skies I've seen. It rained all night, and all morning. So I've just been hanging out, kind of in the van, watching TV. I'm still stuck here. I would actually like to be south by now, but it's my CV axle. Hey, Zag. Hi. I think she wants to go outside. What are you doing? You want to give me kisses? Oh, good girl. Come on. The CV axle hasn't shipped yet. Like, it hasn't left the factory yet, and it said it was supposed to be delivered 2 days ago, and it still hasn't even left. They've just printed the label. What's up, Critter Bones? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to the live stream. Zag and I are just out here chilling. Do you want to go outside? You want to go potty? I hear a cow. Never heard a cow before. Like, not this close. I don't know if they free roam out here. I'm out on BLM area, but I know they could. I just don't think that I've ever seen them do that. Wild. It's cold out there today, too. This is actually the first time it's kind of stopped drizzling all morning. And thankfully, the rain out here in the desert in Oregon isn't like the rain in the south. Like, it's not like a heavy rain. It's not torrential rain. It's just a cold, misty, annoying rain. And this is the first break we've had. Last night it started raining, and I think this is it. It's been kind of a bad solar day today too, so but yeah, Zag and I are just patiently waiting for the part. I sent oh man, I sent an email to the company today, asking like what the fuck is going on. And I know we had holiday weekend in there or whatever, but on their website it says they would ship by the next day, and it hasn't left yet. It's been sitting there for a week, so hopefully they get back to me and get it in the mail so I can get the hell out of here. But I'm kind of at a holding pattern until the part shows up, and then I'll slap it on the van and boogie on south. Rainy day, dream away. Yeah, I've been watching some documentaries today. That's kind of what I've been doing with my time when it's raining out. Made some coffee this morning. So also half of my phone screen is just completely black. When I press on it real hard, it kind of fixes it for like an hour or two, but then it goes black again. So right now it's working. Thankfully, if I hold I've got my phone, just I need to get a new one. The lenses on this phone are a mess. They're gone. Like, they're completely gone. The camera's in there, but the lens, the little part that goes over it, is gone. So the any shots I take look like crap. I just need to get a new phone. We hit a high of 51 degrees today. It was 36 degrees when I woke up this morning. No rain, but windy as fuck. Well, yeah, that's pretty cold. That's colder than it was here, I think. I think it was like 36. I've had a couple of nights that were 30 degrees, and that wasn't fun. The solar panels were just frozen over and had to wait for the sun to come out. A lot of frost on the ground and on the windows, but last night it was only down to like, I think I want to say 50 degrees. With the rain, I think it just makes it a little bit warmer. It's not snowing, thankfully, but if it had been, cold last night, it would have been snowing on me. So that's where I'm at in life. The winter is coming. I know we're in the fall, but winter comes fast here, and I know that, and I'm just kind of like really hoping this part shows up before I'm like stuck. I was stuck here last year too, you guys. So I'm having a bit of PTSD about that. Um, so I mean, now I'm just waiting for the part. My van's still shaky though. It shakes like a bastard. Shakes like a bastard. Anyways, how are you guys doing? What are y'all up to? Critter Bones, Ketone. There's 14 of y'all in here, 8 likes. Don't forget to smash the like button. Me and some friends of mine went out shooting the other day and got some footage of it. So I've been editing that also. Did some editing yesterday. I'm going to do some more after this. Should be able to get that video up soon. I'm going to start getting back into... I've just been kind of doing nothing. So there's really nothing going on for me to film, if that makes any sense. I do need to also do the Blockbuster thing too. Rasta Billy, what's up, man? Sag just went outside. I don't know if she's still out there. Yeah, she's out there somewhere. She likes laying in the sun. I don't know. She's usually likes to be really warm. Yep, it's time to be getting that van fixed so you can get headed south. I know. I've watched like four or five videos on how to replace the CV axle. And I'm pretty confident that I could do it. I am gonna have to buy some things to get the job done. There's some like bits that I don't have, some sockets rather I don't have. So I'll have to buy those sockets, and I need to get a jack. So I could jack the van up, which I should have a damn jack anyways. But yeah, bits and bobs. Exactly. Bits and bobs that I need to get the job done. But I think I could do it. It doesn't seem all that, it seems pretty straightforward. I got castle nuts on here, so that's, gonna be easy. And then getting the CV axle off and unhooking everything at the CV axle. Quit dicking around at work. What do you mean by that? Oh, speaking of, I'm also currently going through I signed up to be a Walmart delivery driver. So now that my van's all legal, finally, now that my van's all legal, I figure that I'm going through the background check right now. But once that comes back, and it'll come back fine, I don't have a criminal record. Actually, that's not true. I do have a pot charge from when I was 19, but that's the only thing on my criminal record. In any case, I mean, I make a good witness in court. I'm just saying. I'm pretty credible. But I'm waiting for the background check to come back, and I figure that's something I could do anywhere. I could like go and I've done food delivery before, but it's kind of annoying to like go to this place and then deliver that food, and then go to that place and deliver that food, and then go to this place and deliver that food, and you're like zigzagging all over the freaking place. Walmart is just, you go to Walmart, they load you up because they got shoppers that'll pick your food for you. They load you up, and then you go deliver it to like 3 houses and get paid, and then you get loaded up again. You just keep doing that. I mean, so I had to send in my insurance, and now they're doing the background check. Now they've confirmed the insurance, so maybe that's a way to make a little scratch. The only thing, like, that downfall about that is that, like, it's kind of wear and tear on my house, on my van. But it is a way to make a little bit of extra scratch to get me through the month, type of shit. It's legal now, so it's no longer an issue. Yeah, exactly. My van's finally legal. I can actually do legal jobs in the van. How crazy is that? I'm putting my truck in the shop. It needed new headers. My son found the stock kit, $250, and told me to bring him my truck. Yeah, so you're gonna do it yourself, right? Is that what you're saying? And you're gonna do it for $250. That's what I'm saying. Like, the parts that I paid for, I mean, it took a gigantic chunk of my money. Like, this van takes just big chunks of my money every month. But it's like, it would have been like $1,500 or some stupid shit like that to have a mechanic do it. So I watched a bunch of videos. I'm pretty confident in being able to do it my damn self. What's up, Dave? I wish we could meet at your brother's house and we could knock this shit out, but I'm just sitting here waiting on the part, bro. Waiting on the part to show up. It's been a week and it still hasn't even left the factory. I think it's in Michigan right now. It's obnoxious. Parts? Yeah, I'm waiting on CV axle wheel hubs. So how was Redwoods, Dave? Did you I don't know where you are, but if you get a chance to go to, okay, cool. You're not too far. Go to Crescent City and go down to the docks. And there's a bunch of sea lions down there like all the time, and you can go see the sea lions. And I'm gonna tell you a story about that area. So my ex-wife was from Brookings, which is just over the border in Oregon, and then Crescent City is the city in California, right on the coast. Oh, you already passed. I thought you were in the Avenue of the Giants. I thought that was north of Crescent City. Maybe it's south. In any case, while I was sitting there, I wanted to go see these damn sea lions. And while I was sitting there looking at these sea lions, I had glasses on at the time. This seagull flies over me and shits, and it hits me in the face. And thank God I had glasses on, because it direct hit in my glasses. All of a sudden I couldn't see, crossed my lip all over my shirt, and I was like, oh. My daughter was standing there and my ex-wife was standing there, and they both like, what in the fuck? And we had to go to Walmart, get a new shirt and clean my ass up, but kind of cut that trip short to go see the damn sea lions because the seagull shit on me, and it was like green and like CBD. It was bad, dude. Thank God I had glasses on, because I might be blind in one eye right now. You're 200 miles south of San Fran. I'll be damned. You just didn't waste any damn time. Sweet Trinity Forest is awesome too. Critter says he uses my truck to move parts and supplies, so I don't have to pay for shop time. I only pay for the parts. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, I've never been a mechanic. I barely understand how the engine works. Like, I do kind of understand, but I don't know the intricacies, you know? And everything I've learned, I've had to learn out of necessity, because I can't afford the mechanic, and I just had to kind of figure it out, which is what I'm about to do with a CV axle. Thankfully, it seems pretty straightforward. It's not too complicated. But I am convinced that's what the problem is. So hopefully, it is. And the CV axle wheel hub go on there. I don't know how I'm gonna figure the wheel hubs out, but that's okay. The CV axle, I think, is the main issue there. But once I get it all apart, I'll be able to look at it and see what's up. But yeah, that's how I've just had to like kind of figure it out as I went, out of necessity, you know, because I'm poor. I've had to learn how to kind of be a mechanic, which, my dad was a mechanic, and he intentionally didn't teach me anything about turning wrenches because he fucking hated doing it. So he didn't want me to become a mechanic. Napa Valley. What are you doing, Zach? What are you doing? Good girl. Okay, jeez. Did you get your zoomies out, huh? Did you get your zoomies out? What are you doing? She's just like running all over the place, huh? With your zoomies? You guys want to see her? What are you doing? Are you a good girl? Huh? Are you a good girl? Huh? Huh? Are you a good girl? Oh, yes, that's disgusting. Yeah, I love you too. I love you too. I'm no mechanic either, but I know enough to get me by. Yeah, I can change oil, change a tire. Anything that has to do with belts, I haven't ever done before, but I get the concept. I'm about to do the CV axle. I guess I kind of understand, like, I mean, I'm not mechanically stupid. Like, I know how to turn a wrench and loosen and tighten bolts, which is a lot of what mechanicking is these days. But when you really get into like the intricacies of the motor and like there's a lot of parts where I'm just like, nah, I wouldn't know it if I was to look at it, if that makes any sense. Like, there are some parts I can identify, a lot of parts I'm like, I didn't even know that existed in there. I didn't know that was a thing. Cool. Like, cars have that too. Wow. Amazing. I'm a fair mechanic, but I hate CV axle repairs. Seems I could never get them out of the trans. Well, don't jinx me, man. We're gonna, I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna have a little bit of help, hopefully, from a buddy of mine. And he's not like, he's also mechanically inclined, but neither of us are like trained mechanics or anything. I guess he did have some training, but never done it professionally. So, um, yeah, maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll be a professional mechanic. Somebody will pay me to change oil. Use a pry bar and pry against the tranny and axle. That's kind of what I pictured in my head. I would just get like a pry bar and pop it out. But I'm also like, who knows what it'll be like when I get under there, and actually get a chance to start pulling it apart. Maybe the job that should take an hour could take longer, maybe 2 hours, maybe 6. Maybe I'll be broke the fuck down, get a tow truck, tow me to the shop with all my shit in pieces, and be like, please put this back together. That's not gonna happen though. This is actually the first bit of weed I've had in like a few days. Uh, got Alicia hooked me up so I can go get a little bit of weed because my money's been spent on dog food and food. Fort Jack. Such a funny name. We called those shade tree damage. Am I missing something? Oh, like if you towed it, when you towed your vehicle in when it's all in pieces. Like, I got a basket case for you. Like, please put this back together. All right, I'm glad my son is very mechanically inclined. My daughter went to college at Lincoln Mechanical Institute for diesel technician. That's cool. That's pretty neat. Um, yeah, I wish I was. I mean, what I do learn about the car, I do retain. Like, I do understand how to do a lot more today than I did, even 10 years ago, because people like Dave and just out of necessity have had to learn how to do a lot of things. So, and mainly like diagnostics is my thing that I've been like, I've struggled with, like, why is this one thing happening? But I'm pretty, now that I've gotten into this van so much, I'm pretty sure it's the CV axles, and I have an evap leak, which I know exactly what that is, and I need a new gas tank eventually. So that's gonna have to be a thing. Or I sell it, with a little bit of an evap leak, like, and that'll be the only part it'll need is a gas tank. I mean, depending on how anal you're getting, the headliner's also absolutely trashed, but that's been kind of a low priority for me, is the headliner. I do want to get a different one up there, but if you ever get anxiety for weed, I am smoking a sativa. That might be why I'm chatty right now. But yeah, actually, that's. I mean, we can get into it. When I got out of the army, and I smoked weed for the first couple times. Every time I smoked weed, it would get me like too anxious. Like, it would just, where I was uncomfortable and like, and all of a sudden super self-conscious. It wasn't a good time. Like, I wasn't really enjoying myself. Um, but it's just like any other mind altering thing, right? Like, first of all, don't do too much. And second of all, do it in a comfortable spot. What I did, because I knew I wanted to smoke weed again. I just needed to get my tolerance up. So what I would do anytime I wanted to smoke weed, I would just take a hit before bed. And if I got too anxious, well, at least I was in bed, and watching TV, and it was fine, and I'm safe. I wasn't driving around or something, because I did that when I smoked weed and I had to drive somewhere, and that was a bad move. Like, it was all bad. Um, and it was just super anxious and paranoid and shit. So, but now my tolerance is so high, like, it just doesn't do that to me anymore. I don't get paranoia or anything because of the weed, but I do know that is something that did happen to me when my tolerance was low, and it was really uncomfortable. So yeah, like any mind altering thing, like, don't do too much of anything, whether it's alcohol or weed. Well, like, too much, and what that is for you is what it is for you. You know your tolerance, but don't do too much, and do it in a comfortable spot, somewhere that you're safe, and that you kind of control your environment like that. That would be my advice for anyone trying to start a cannabis adventure of some kind, or that journey. Is people will make light of it. People will make light of how stoned it makes you, because their tolerance is higher, and they forget what it was like, because maybe they were like me and they started when they were young. But I took some time off and I got back into it, and it was like, yo, this is not a good feeling whatsoever. Um, so I always try to have a little bit of compassion for, like, the beginning stages of that journey. Gas tank is a shitty job. Better off paying someone for that one. Like, I did pay someone to jerry rig it as it is, and I saw how they did it, and yeah, it's a pain in the ass, but I think that I could do it. I think it would be like, I think it'd just be a lot cheaper, but you're not wrong. My truck is gonna need brakes. The 101 ate them up, Dave says. Yeah. Yeah, the gas tank, Dave said, it'd take 2 hours in the dirt. Yeah, this gas tank is just two bands holding the gas tank underneath the van. So like four bolts, and then wiring harnesses, hoses, and shit. Um, so it's really not, honestly, that complicated. Yeah, the 101, I bet it did eat up your brakes, dude. And you're so heavy as it is with that camper on the back of your truck. But the 101 can be a bit of a. There's some parts, man. There's some parts that it's a fun drive. Philip says, I wish I could smoke it, but I get super anxious from it. You might consider, I don't know how you feel about CBDs, right? And just getting a strain that's really high in CBD and really low in THC. And I say that because they claim it's like not psychotropic. So it won't get you stoned. It's low CBD or low THC, which is the part that gets you stoned. The CBD, though, you would still feel some calming effects from it. Maybe it'll give you the munchies or something like that. So, but the anxiety shouldn't be there. So I think it'll give people the option of getting the benefits of cannabis without the stoned. Like, if you don't want to be stoned, because that seems to be what will make a lot of people uncomfortable. And I don't know in what method you tried weed. Like, did you smoke it, or a vape pen, or an edible? Like, there's so many different ways to introduce it to yourself, and everyone is different on, like, what they need and which way it is that they do it. And I mean, not to mention, is it a sativa, is it an indica? Like, all these things do come into play about how it makes your body feel. Um but if it is something that you actually are interested in, that's what I would recommend, dude. It was like, for me, I would just take a hit before bed every night, and then I'd fall asleep. And then eventually that led to, like, me taking 2 hits before bed, and then I would fall asleep, which eventually that led to me, like, taking a hit after I got off work, and then taking another hit before bed, as long as I wasn't doing anything that day. Um, and it was a slow progression, like 6, 7 months, maybe longer, until I was able to even be stoned in public. Like, I wouldn't smoke weed around people because it would just make me a little paranoid. And I worked up to that, I built up to that. It took a long time. And now I'm like, I don't know if that's something you even want to do, but But now I'm like, I could pretty much smoke weed at any point. I could probably testify in front of Congress like this. I would have to actually practice that a little bit beforehand, but it wouldn't, that's just how I exist now. And, but I do remember, dude, I do remember what it was like when I first started. I've been on the cannabis since I was 13, Lynn says. I am now 62. So 50 years, man, on the sauce. Hang on, I'm looking for my lighter, you guys. What the hell did I do? I just was smoking this. Oh, I'm sitting on it. It was up my bum. Hopefully it doesn't explode when I... Okay, we're good. Did you watch the SpaceX... Mark asks, did you watch the SpaceX landing? That shit is ridiculous. Are you talking about the tower that caught the rocket on the way down? First, let's just acknowledge, like, that is the biggest flying object human beings have ever made. Like, first of all. Second of all, this thing didn't land on, like, a flat platform, that had, like, a lot of, like, wiggle room about where it could land and, like, where exactly it was going to be put. This thing landed exactly in the spot it was supposed to be, and it didn't even touch the ground. It was caught with a tower with these arms that came around and let this thing got hooked on the arms and landed, and the thing was dangling down. It just caught it. The engineering behind that and the mathematics behind that is it's just amazing what human beings can do. That's what I'll say. And I wish that we knew who the engineers were, and the mathematicians were, who are designing these things, so we could give them credit instead of the owner of the company, because those are the people that are actually making these things happen. And that would be, but that doesn't really happen anymore. Those people don't get credit. Critterbone says, I start getting grumpy when I know I'm running low. I feel that very hard. Carol told me she would leave me if I ever quit. That's funny. What's up, Daryl? Welcome to the live stream. For those of you just jumping in here, missed the beginning of it. It's been raining all day. This is kind of the first break we've had. Update on the van. It needs new CV axles, and I'm just waiting on the part. I've already ordered it, and they've only just printed the label. And then the parts just sat there for like a week now. And I know we had like a holiday weekend in there, but it's, Wednesday at this point, and it hasn't shipped. So I'm a bit frustrated. Sent them an email today. We're going to see what they respond with, but haven't heard back. And I'm like, hey man, please advise on your website. It says that, it ships out by the next day. It's now been a week. The delivery date was supposed to be 2 days ago, and it's still not here. What's going on? Should I take this up with my bank? And, yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully it gets shipped soon. Chopstick style. He has been landing smaller boosters on a barge without the tower for a while now. Dude, just landing on a boat and the water's like doing this, and the tower's got to land on that, or the ships, or the whatever, the boosters got to land on that, is kind of like just being able to do that in a plane too. But obviously, like, it's just nutty, dude. It's just nutty what human beings can do. I first tried smoking weed when I was 6, and then started buying at age 8, and I've been toking ever since. Jesus Christ. That was some real hardcore criminal shit back in the day, too. Like, you remember, I actually went to jail for weed when I was 19 for 2 months for pot. And it was the DEA that arrested me. No shit. True story. DEA, Paul Cheshire, arrested me for weed. And it was like, a cellophane with some swag in it and a metal pipe, and he didn't even find it on me. I was just with the kids that he found it on, and we all got arrested. And he'd been trying to arrest me for a while, but this was his chance. And then I went to jail and was too poor to fight it, and ended up pleading guilty, and got time served, and got out. So that was my weed experience growing up when it was illegal. It's still illegal in North Carolina too. So I just don't like going back there. It scares the shit out of me, man. Oh, it's nice that the rain finally stopped. I've been just kind of hanging out all day. Figured I'd drive into town at some point. Um, Later today. I went in earlier today. Uh, but I got some pretty good footage of me going shooting out here not too long ago with some friends of mine. So I'll be posting that pretty soon. I gotta edit those videos and put them together. And actually, I've already been editing them. I'm almost done. And you can see your boy being a ninja. If there's anything I feel like I am good at, it's shooting. So I got to go to shoot. I think it was a 300, or maybe a 308. I don't know. Now I forget. It was a Savage. I think it was a 300. Um, and then an AR-15, and then a 380 and a 9mm. Critter says, that's messed up. I've been busted a couple of times, got fined, never had to do any jail time for weed. Yeah, I did. For some, like, dude, North Carolina is strict with weed. It's pretty illegal there. That state does scare me. Even though it's got, like, the hippies or whatever out west. It's like the little island I was on, those are some bored-ass cops. Like I said, I got busted by the feds, like by the DEA. It was wild. That Paul Cheshire, man, I hope that he was such a fat ass too, a fat ass DEA agent with a pot leaf tattooed on him that was putting people in jail for weed. Like the guy is like the bomb, like the everything I hate about the government in one gigantic slob. I know he's never gonna see this, but God, I really wish he would. I really wish he would. I've been obviously holding a grudge for 30 years. Dude's probably dead by now with some heart attack or something. I should Google him. As soon as it stopped raining and drizzling and shit, all these birds came out. It just was like tons of birds squawking and squawking out there. Probably hungry because they haven't had a chance to go hunting this morning. Texas is a state that scares you the most. Critter, I got busted in Colorado. Second time was in Michigan. The two most legal states in the union right now, like on the East Coast. Like, they're the cheapest spots to get weed. That's crazy. Mark Light says Texas is the state that scares him the most. For me, I would say for me it's Idaho or North Carolina. North Carolina because of PTSD, but Idaho because it's so close to where I hang out. I spend a lot of time, and it's very, very illegal when you go to Idaho, especially if you got Oregon plates, man. If every time you cross the border, like you get pulled over, like every time. So I just avoid Idaho. Maybe Indiana up there in New England. That might be the state out there that scares me. But basically, the entire South honestly scares me. Texas is pretty bad, but Mississippi is super bad. Alabama's a bad one too. Like the whole South is like if they would legalize it out there, I would probably spend some more time van lifing in those areas. But they're just not available to me. I'm not gonna give up my freedoms to go see states that don't want to respect my freedom. Yeah, Idaho, Indiana, Texas is Dave's. I would say Idaho, Indiana, and Mississippi, or maybe Alabama for me. It's kind of a toss up between those. Florida has medical, it's true. They voted down They voted down recreational a few times now though. Ethan Bobby said getting weed delivered in 10 minutes, have a ounce coming in 6 different kinds. That's what's up, man. That's how it should be. It should be able to just get delivered. It's literally harmless. And if it is like harmful in any way, you're doing it to yourself. You're not projecting that on anyone else. Isn't that the definition of freedom, is to be able to just make your own choices for better or worse without needing the government to tell us how to survive and like what's okay and what's not. Like obviously if you're hurting people then that's not okay, but if you're just like, I mean, I can get a tattoo, no one's gonna give a shit, but that hurts me. I could eat McDonald's every day and no one's gonna say anything, but that's not good for me. Like I feel like the true definition of freedom is being able to like make bad decisions without it being criminalized. And I don't really care like what it is, whether it's sex work or if it's drugs or any victimless crime. Like it shouldn't be a crime. You're not criminal, you haven't hurt anybody. We don't need the government telling us like how to deal with our bad habits. Like that's for the mental health professionals to do. Rant over. Rant over. Anyways, like it just gets me riled up about weed. Like that's such a silly ass thing to make illegal and to keep illegal. It's 2024, you know what I mean? Like you should be able to go to like Costco and they'll have big bins and like just you can just get the big ass scooper and a big fucking garbage bag and just fill it up if you want and then check out. Like there shouldn't be limitations on how much you can buy and like the government shouldn't be able to decide how much of this plant you're like. I could go to Walmart right now and buy up all their apples and people might think that's fucking weird, but if you want their apples, that's fine. Like why can't we do that with weed? Oh, I can only have this many ounces unless it's concentrate and then you can only have this many grams. Suddenly we're using the metric system. Doesn't make any fucking sense. Wisconsin completely surrounded by legal states. Yeah. Yeah. Critter, I know that's you're actually in Indiana. And Critter says Indiana isn't bad as long as you know where to go, country back roads. And that's the thing, you shouldn't have to take back roads because you have a pot. Like you shouldn't have to do that. It's 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 silly. People spent years in jail. People still are. There's still people sitting in prison, in federal prison, state prisons, counties right now, right this very second, right now, somewhere in America, someone's getting arrested right now for weed. In one of those states, they got caught with pot, and the cop just doesn't like the dreadlocks or whatever the fuck it is, or their backpack, or their dog barked a little too loud, and they're going to jail right now because of pot. And it's silly. It's so silly. Like I really hope that those of you in states where it's not legal, like I know there's not a whole lot you can do, especially if that's not really your thing. But I mean, there are organizations out there that are lobbying for your cannabis rights because, like, I interpret freedom and I want to say that I think that it should be a right, but you know, we should have the right to make bad decisions. Um, Government isn't our fucking mom and dad, dude. That's your parents' job, your family's job, your friend's job to give you the advice that you need in order to make good decisions in life. And like, that's not Uncle Sam's job. That's not what we need government for. I just sick of everyone thinking government's supposed to take care of us, tell us what's right and wrong, what's good and bad, and what if you're hurting somebody, like I said, like then you're creating a victim. Like that's illegal and it should be, and you should face consequences for that. But well, most of the people in our prison systems in America are in there for victimless crimes. Um, and they're for drugs primarily. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not advocating anyone do drugs. Like I know it's a mental health condition. I don't think that the money that we give in taxes should go towards a literal war on American citizens. I think it should go towards like mental health and um like just overall infrastructure for our country. and primarily education. Like, the more educated people are, the less likely they are to be on drugs. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much better things we could spend our money on instead of the cops enforcing a war on U.S. citizens that the government made in the 50 fucking years ago. Actually, more. I think it's 100 years old, really, if you really think about it. The war on cannabis started in the 30s, 1930s. It's almost the 2030s. Like, it's archaic. It's archaic. It's hard to change culture, though. It's hard to change people's minds. You know, they watched Reefer Madness when they were growing up, and they ain't never gonna stop. Don't forget to smash that like button, you guys, while I'm venting about weed. While I'm venting about weed. After this, I'm gonna cook some food. I'm gonna make me some breakfast for dinner, I think. What up, Darren? How you doing, man? Daryl was here just a little bit ago. You guys are probably, like, hanging out, huh? Dave was here earlier, but he's probably gone now. He might still be here. Oh, by the way, what am I smoking on? It's a sativa. I know that much. Oh, here it is. Oh, yeah. Pineapple upside down cake. It's kind of a cheap joint. It's a $3 joint. Everyone's here. Yay. The whole group. That's cool. This is actually the first time it's been, like, first time it's not been raining. I'll show you. Ugh. It is cold, though. It's, like, chilly. But look at that. Starting to see some blue skies, some patches of it. And I wouldn't say this is typical for this area because this is a desert. Like, where I'm at is high desert. So it's like 300 days of sunshine every year. So I this is the first rain I've seen since I've been here, actually. I think. Is it? No, I'm not sure. Kind of second guessing that all of a sudden. But I don't really remember the last rain that we had. So, yeah, that's cool. But it looks like it might be stopping and clearing out. I'm seeing some blue now. But it is freaking cold out here, actually. You guys want to see the canal that I've been camping near? I haven't been able to show you this in the last few live streams because I was using my GoPro, and it's kind of wirelessly attached to the van in order to do the live stream, so I couldn't go this far. But I'm on my phone right now, and I can. And I'll show you. So, David's seeing this canal, right, and it's starting to drain right now. So they're starting to drain it. But this is what I'm... right here. This is where I spend... Sometimes I come down here and drink coffee. This road can get a little busy sometimes, but there is a bigger pond nearby that I fished not too long ago. Didn't catch anything. And this BLM ranger dude came by earlier today, and I chatted with him. So yeah, it's actually really cold right now. I'm actually about to start shivering. But hopefully some of this rain that we got stop some of the fires nearby, because that fire that chased us out of the national forest. God, I'm gonna turn the heater on. That fire that chased us out of the national forest, like, last month, is still burning up there, and it keeps blowing smoke into town. It's making town smoky. It's a really big fire now. And it's just kind of smoldering. So hopefully this put out some of those hot spots. Let's hope so. Yeah, I could barely stand in it. It's been draining. Yeah, 'tis the season, man. It's getting colder, and they can't have it freezing. So that's like kind of usually my dew point, to tell me it's time to go. And I know I'm pushing it um, because I'm waiting on this damn part, man. I'm waiting on this part, and then hopefully it just goes in and out real smooth. And I actually think I've identified the really bad one is the one on the left. So I'm thinking that I'll replace that one first, because damn, my van shakes. Yeah, I used to do 101. I've done it a couple of times. It's just um I don't know. The road in Oregon is a mess. It's an absolute shit show in Oregon. So I California's not so bad though, but it's all the cliffs and shit in Oregon, and they've got like landslides that knock out the road all the time, and they keep like, oh, I know Fort Bragg. Dave, Fort Bragg has a glass beach. It's a pretty cool area. I've checked that out there before. You gonna go to our tattoo artist? I really wanted to check that out on the way south. I'm wondering if I'm even gonna have time. Yeah, Fort Bragg has glass beach though, dude, and I don't think you can camp there, but you can go there at nighttime. I've been there at nighttime, but it's a pretty, like, their tourist spot, I guess. Oh yeah, Glass Beach is the plan. Yeah, it's a pretty cool spot. The pictures that you'll see on like Google it's a little misleading. Like sometimes there's a lot of glass there, sometimes there's not that much, man. It's like a beach, but I mean it's a neat little town though. Yeah, I wanted to roll through there in Sacramento to get a tattoo. I was really hoping to do that. For one, I don't know if I'll have the time or the money. So I'm not really sure. What I figure I'll probably do though is take I-5 down to Sacramento and then cut over on the 50 and then take 395 to just avoid all of Los Angeles. And I wouldn't have to go over the Grapevine. But sometimes the water will wash some in, and yeah, it's been picked through for sure. But sometimes the water will wash more glass in. But yeah, the pictures must have been taken a long time ago. If I get maybe it just depends. If I get far enough south, like in Sacramento, it might be a bit snowy. I know that the fucking mountains up there are pretty high, but California also plows pretty well through the passes. I've had to make some risky ass drives in my RV over some of those passes, but when springtime is coming to Oregon because the raindrops feel warmer. Yeah. Fuel going at 50 cents a gallon in Cali November 1st. Yeah, that sucks. Thankfully, I'm just going to be driving through Cali to get to Arizona. But California, like, curves in, and then there's Arizona. So I'm up here in Oregon, and I either go through Nevada or I go through California. And there's just a lot more resources, I think, in California. And I should only have to get, like, 1 tank of gas, maybe 2. But if I can get to Havasu, get to Nevada before well, shit, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know, we'll see. Oh, you're in South Bend, that's cool. South Bend, Indiana. We have a North Bend here in Oregon. We have a North Bend. Buff Pass. I keep forgetting that I even had this in my hand. It's almost gone though. I've done pretty good. It's almost 4:20 here on the West Coast. 4 minutes. I don't really have a countdown or alarm that goes off. My watch is dead, and I can't find my watch charger. It's like a whatever digital watch. Can't find it. So it'll turn up. I mean, I live in a minivan, so there's shit in nooks and crannies and bags and stuff. So I gotta go through it and find it. But my watch would go off. 19 people have smashed that like button. For those of you who haven't, don't forget to. I'm just out here waiting on my part. God, my phone, dude. Half the screen has gone black on my phone. And this is my backup phone. Half the screen has gone black on my phone. The lenses on the camera are gone. And I mean, I just can't film on this thing, and I can barely see it. I pressed on the screen earlier real hard, and it popped, like it turned back on. But now it's getting darker again. So yeah, I'm just, trying to hold water in my hands, doing my best out here. Hey, it looks like Angie posted a new video. Angie from my so-called slab life, I'm giving her a shout out right now. She just posted a video of slab fashion with Tomahawk. That would be an interesting one to see some slab fashion with. Tomahawk is eclectic. The struggle is real. Yeah, dude. I mean, I feel that real hard right now. But I'm treading water. I got the part on its way, even though it's taking a sweet ass time to show up. The part's on its way. I'm gonna turn this off now that I'm warm. And oh, Critter says she's seen that video already. Yeah, I haven't watched it. Tomahawk, like I said, is pretty eclectic. Len says it was nice hanging, but time to go to acoustic jam night at the bar. Hell yeah, dude, have fun. Enjoy acoustic night. You could live stream the repairs, and we'll be there to give you advice if you need it. I'm probably either gonna live stream it or record it. So far, I have recorded all the repairs on this van, and I've backed them up on Google. And I was hoping to make one big video of all the repairs once they're done, because I still haven't fixed this damn shake. So that might be the video, like fixing the shake as I drive down the road and finally getting it done. Watch for 120 closure, no winter on the mountain roads. Watch for 120 closure, no winter on the mountain roads. Yeah, no, I usually will. Here in Oregon we have like it's called Road Watch, I think, where you can like look up the live cameras. It comes from ODOT. You can look up the ODOT cameras on all the passes at different parts on the pass, and it'll give you a weather report. I'm so familiar with driving over passes that's likely what I would do to drive over any pass down there, especially in the fall. Like the winter in the mountains comes before it does down here, and I'm about as far away from the mountains here as I can get, without while also being close to Bend. So I got that going for me, but I do need to get this damn part and get the hell out of here as fast as I can. It's time to go. Get a cool hula girl dash thing, shimmy and shake. It's funny that you mentioned that, because my first van had a little hula girl on the dashboard, and it rode with me for years. In fact, I basically considered it the personification of my van, and it was just this hula girl on my dash, and I would smack her around a little bit sometimes. It's like, good girl. Hold on, Zag. Just like I do with my Zag dog. Huh. I beat my dog once a week, so she knows who's boss. Don't I, good girl? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. This is her. She's just so little, it's hard to get her in live streams sometimes. Unless I just force her into the shot. So Zag is a slab dog. She was born in the slabs. If you ever have watched any Rabbit Sides videos from back in the day, they have a little black dog named Maromi, and that's Zag's litter mate. They're sisters. We all got our dogs at the same time, and yeah, we taking your picture. So yeah, she was born in slabs, right nearby where Rabbit Sides camp was. Woof woof. She doesn't really bark a whole bunch. She's like 7 years old now. Maybe even slightly older. I don't know. About 7, I would say. It's hard to tell. I'd have to look through my pictures to see what year she was born, because it's all kind of a blur. It all goes so damn fast. Hey, yeah, it's 420. We celebrated. Let's see. It's 4:23 right now. And as we know, as I've said many times, 420 actually lasts for 10 minutes. We got plenty of time, man. Dave says Happy's been really showing his age. Happy is an old dog too. Of course, yeah. He's being an old boy. But he's had a really good life because of you. You gave him a good life. He has that cool basement and garden there, right? I think I've seen it on YouTube. Yeah. That would be Rabbit Side. They had the Arduino system, and if you ever watch it again and you see their little black dog, Rabbit Side and I were really good friends. And they've kind of like they've gone and done their own thing, and it's really cool. I'm really proud of them. And they've just kind of disconnected from the slabs, so I understand it. But I did get to see them recently at Andre's wedding. They came and visited. At least 2 out of 3 of them did, so that was cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was neat stuff. But we were close once upon a time. 60 miles south of San Francisco, there's a little town called Davenport. You can stay right in town, short walk to the beach. Go Notre Dame. That's cool. Dave says, I don't think he's got much longer. Well, at least you'll be, I mean, in an area where it won't hit your wallet too hard if it does happen. But yeah, that sucks, man. I'm not looking forward to that day with Zag. Huh. I'm gonna be an absolute fucking mess, and I know you will be too. I have a homie in Richmond. I'm gonna mooch talk. In St. Louis, camp on the beach, $10 a night. I'd be scared of getting my van stuck in the sand. Minerbell 7, also Harley, male American Bulldog, Tinkerbell, female Kentucky Mountain, Cur English Bulldog mix. It sounds like some southern dogs. Zach, I'll feed you when the live stream's over. You guys got me for about 4 more minutes. Go dogs. Uh-oh. Go Notre Dame. Everyone's, I guess football season's in full swing, isn't it? Although, I mean, I'm not really into football, but if I was gonna be into football, I would probably pick college football. Because I feel like those guys are like playing with a little more heart, you know, like they're playing for their education. They're paying maybe to get into the pros, but once you're in the pros, you've made it, dude. You're under contract. You know what I mean? Like, you're done. What are you really striving for, to get another contract? But the college boys, like those guys are playing for like cooler reasons with a little more heart, you know what I mean? Tons of four-wheeler jerk bumper off, get you out. Tons of four-wheelers. Oh, I see. Jerk bumper. I don't they'd have to get to like my frame underneath the van. What's up, Pinkster? How you doing? Welcome to the live stream. You actually caught me right at the end of the live stream. 420, I think is what is it over yet? We got 3 more minutes of 420. And then I'm gonna cut the live stream. Yeah, Dave's got a hitch on the front of your truck. But right now, for those of you like Pink that just got here, the update is right now I mean it's been raining all day, and this is the first rain I've seen in a hot minute. And like except for that one time it was raining actual ashes and coals and charcoal on us from the fires. I don't remember it raining out here before. And the van, I've been putting a bunch of money into this, and it still needs more work. I've got the shake in it, and the CV axle's on its way. Well, it's not on its way. I ordered it like a week ago, and it still hasn't shipped. So I'm just waiting for the CV axle to come in, and then I'm gonna learn how to swap that out. I'm out here in the high deserts of Oregon, in Central Oregon, near the Oregon Badlands. Max says they're pulling people over for having their hitch on the back of the truck in Slab City. They got Dreamcatcher the other day. Fucking sad. Hello and goodbye, I guess. You're leaving. Much love, my friend. I mean, I can hang out if you guys want me to hang out a little longer. I can hang out. They're pulling you over for having your hitch in your truck? You're not supposed to have your hitch in your... You're talking about like the ball? You're not supposed to have that in if you're not using it, I guess. That's weird. It's a minivan, you'll never stop working on it. Yeah, that's been the fucking case so far. I mean, after this, I don't know. After this, maybe my spark plugs will have to get done. But that, I think I could do myself. I'll have to look at how common the spark plugs break on this thing. Cops pulling you over for fucking ball hitch. That's silly, dude. The cops out there are getting retarded. That's what they told her when they pulled her over Dreamcatcher, but it says California law that you're allowed to have a hitch on the back there. Yeah, it's a Dodge, dude. So like, if you're legally allowed to, I feel like she could easily just make a formal complaint with the department and let them investigate themselves. But one thing that a lot of people don't know about formal complaints, like an actual written complaint, is that it goes in that cop's record forever. Like, it stays on their record forever. They hate formal complaints because it stays on their record forever. I recently found a website that you can look up any cop's history of formal complaints. You can look it up. There's a website for it. I've just found it recently. I'm like, this is the greatest fucking thing in the world. So yeah, like that's definitely, if you're legally allowed to have that on your vehicle, then they've definitely violated her Fourth Amendment right. What's most insulting is when the police, when you get in your 40s and the police is like 23-year-old kids. Dude, I saw that in Slabs. I remember meeting this cop at the Ponderosa, and like one of the cops there, I forget the damn guy's name, some Hispanic name, and we dealt with each other a couple times, like nothing serious or whatever. But he brought this other cop with him in the passenger seat, and I was like, dude, there's no way this kid's out of high school. Like, and I was like, I looked at him and I even roasted him a little bit. I was like, Jesus Christ, you guys recruiting him out of middle school? And it was just, he really did look like a fucking child. It was kind of mind-boggling. I've never heard a law about a hitch, and I've lived in California almost all my life. I'm from pickup country. Yeah, dude, these cops actually might just be like looking for any ass random reason to pull people over. I know they've been really cracking down on slabs a little lately. Damn, dude, come to Missouri. You can do most anything. We even have open carry. We have open carry here in Oregon. Oregon has open carry. Believe it or not, Oregon actually is pretty Second Amendment friendly. They've recently changed the law that I didn't really. They went a little further from the Second Amendment, but for the most part, Oregon's pretty good. I'll put you up and show you some cool sights. Out in Missouri, hell yeah. Well, it'll have to be summertime, dude. I'm not going out there in the winter. Are you crazy? It's cold. I did it twice. Internal affairs went off of 1 year without a stop. Had them outright harassment. All states are open carry. I don't think that's true. Not all states are open carry. I hate Oregon. Yeah, I spelled it that way. Why do you hate Oregon? That's weird. Oh, you have family here. I mean, is it Portland that you hate, or is it like the whole state? Because Oregon's fucking huge, and Portland isn't that big. Okay, yeah, like we all have the Second Amendment, but I don't think we all have open carry. I don't think that's true. But we are all allowed to own a gun. Yeah, you're allowed to own a gun. I don't think that you're allowed to. All states have open carry, but be prepared to get harassed in some states like California. Is that true? I'm gonna have to look that up. Yeah, fight the ticket for the hitch. That was an overzealous cop. Oh, you lived in Redmond. Dude, I owned a home in Redmond. I used to own a house there. Indiana's open carry. Yeah, Redmond, I don't know. I don't know why you'd hate Redmond. I mean, the only thing I really don't like about Central Oregon is the weather in the winter. But the summers there are freaking perfect. Also, the the people in Bend are starting to get kind of crunchy. You know, like kind of some yuppies. You can put it under your coat here. Like your Jimmy Buffett way of seeking out the better warm weather. I just don't. I live outside, dude. It's really that simple. Like it's not. Like sure, I do like endless summer. That's cool. I just live outside. So I mean, if humans still lived outside and we didn't build boxes to live in, this is what we would do naturally because we'd be following the food. So like I just follow the food. Don't look up the state laws. Only one is the Second Amendment period. Yeah, but I mean, no, I agree with you, Mischief. I can't argue that. But the reality is that they have infringed on that right, and they each state does manage the Second Amendment differently about what's legal and what's not. And I mean, you can challenge it all you want. That's fine. I mean, protest all you know. But the one thing the government can do is take your freedom away, and they will. So I don't want to have my freedom taken away. Yeah, getting your CCW is really the best way to do it. And I know it's kind of obnoxious. I think constitutional carry should be a thing everywhere. Like Arizona, you don't have to have a concealed carry permit to conceal carry in Arizona. You're legally allowed to. That's how it should be everywhere. Um, Patricia says Applegate, Oregon was great in the 70s. I wonder if it still is. I can tell you about Applegate. It is cannabis country. It is weed country. And it's a lot of like real like hippies go there during trim. There's probably a ton right now because right now it's trim season. It's October coming in season, harvest right now. All the trim migrants are in Applegate right now, looking for work, looking for trim work, so they can do harvest and trim and make a bunch of money. And then they'll go back down south for whatever other gig work they get. The trim migrants like just travel around um and make money, trimming weed. Applegate's cool. I like Applegate, especially because it's like in Selma area too. Is also a really neat, neat spot up the. I want to say it's the Indiana River too, but rich, old, and Bend area coastal elderly. Pink Star says in Missouri we have concealed carry. You don't have to have a license. That's how it should be, man. All right, guys. You guys had me through 420. Got to hang out a little longer. Um, but I'm gonna call it. Appreciate everyone that's been here. Hopefully, I'm gonna be posting a video. Speaking of the Second Amendment, I just went shooting with some friends of mine. I'm gonna be posting a video of us going shooting. Got some fun shots. It was a lot of fun. I like shooting. It's like my zen, dude. It's one of the few things that I do actually feel like I'm really good at. Like I do feel like I'm a really good shot. I kind of pride myself on being a good shot. Damn, Winners, you caught me right at the end, dude. Uh, but yeah, I appreciate everyone being here, and as always, exactly, miles of smiles.